Hello everybody, how are we doing today?
Good.
All right, welcome to the National Restaurant Association show. This, as long as you take away your limiting beliefs and your mindset and be open to some new things, I'm telling you, this is going to be the #1 presentation to save money in your restaurant. We're going to be going over budget-friendly benefits to attract and retain top talent. My name is Adam Berenger. I am the founder of So Napa Grill, and I'm here today with Patrick Yearout.
Hello, everyone. I'm the Director of Innovation for Ivers Restaurant over in Seattle. That's all I have.
That's it? All right.
So you ready to go?
Yeah, we're ready to go. Awesome.
I'll be back later.
All right. So today, what we want you to do is to discover cost-effective ways to attract and retain top talent, reduce turnover costs, and all to do that fitting within your budget. And some of the learning objectives that you will take with you, one is to understand the multifaceted costs that are involved with employee turnover. Two, to evaluate the return on investment for measures to attract and retain top talent, along with benefits. And to be able to leave here and maybe have a little bit of an action plan of what you're going to do taking back to your restaurants. So again, my name's Adam Berenger with So Napa Grill, and we have Patrick Yearout with Ivars Restaurants. We'll go through a couple of slides with some statistics that I'm sure many of you know already, but according to the 2024 National Restaurant Association State of the Industry Report, 45% of restaurants don't have enough employees to support customer demand. 9 out of 10 operators say being understaffed has a significant or moderate impact on the restaurant's ability to grow or be successful. So in addition to the restaurant that we have called So Napa Grill, we started a podcast called Grapes and Debates. And so we start the podcast drinking wine. And then we get into a debate. And on Wednesday, we had Chef Vaughn Metcalf on the podcast. And it's a small restaurant in New Smyrna Beach where we're from. They probably have 100 seats. And we were debating on what is the #1 issue facing him as a chef or facing restaurants. And he said his #1 issue is staffing. So that just kind of goes into reaffirming the 9 out of 10 operators. Cost of turnover. So the Center for Hospitality Research at Cornell University, along with the National Restaurant Association, estimates the cost of frontline employee turnover at over $5,800. Just think of that, $5,800. How can benefits help? Society of Human Resource Managers found in 2021 that 56% of all U.S. adults said that benefits package was a top consideration when looking for a job. That same SHRM report noted 92% of all employees said benefits are the most important to their overall job satisfaction. And a 2023 Pew report, 43% of those cited poor benefits as key factors in their decision to resign. So, let me tell you a little about So Napa Grill. We specialize in wines from Sonoma County and Napa Valley. We started in 2006 as a wine club among friends, and then in 2010, we grew to a full-service restaurant. We opened our second location in the middle of COVID. We opened in March of 2021 in Ormond Beach, Florida. The opening was a huge success, which then led us to the opportunity to open our third location in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Again, the fully staffed, coming out of COVID, we were doing incredible sales, way beyond what I thought. And then the honeymoon period ended. And then we really started to notice cracks in our foundation. And it was about 8 months into our opening, morale, employee turnover, our front of house manager gave us her 2-week notice, cited the inability to work with the general manager that we hired. Within 2 weeks, we terminated the general manager. So my business partner, Joe, who's right here with me. So Joe and I made the decision that we were going to be the management team to take us through the holidays, to work through New Year's Eve and into the new year, which we did. So we rented a house in Jacksonville Beach, we worked through the holidays, and then we made the decision to use a recruiting firm to hire a new GM. And that took a while, but March 1st, we had a new GM, we got him through training, and then Joe and I were able to kind of go back to a normal life. Joe in Mormon Beach, myself in New Smyrna Beach. So then Joe would communicate 60 minutes, I would commute 90 minutes, and we started listening to a book by Donald Burns called Your Restaurant Sucks. And so Joe and I would get to work like, our restaurant doesn't suck. I said, but we can do things better. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, our restaurant doesn't suck. We're doing so well in New Smyrna, so well in Ormond, but we're still having issues at our Jack's location. So we continued to listen to Your Restaurant Still Sucks, and then the third book, Your Restaurant Culture Sucks. And it was about that time that I looked at Joe. I said, man, I think we need to call this guy Donald Burns, the restaurant coach, and see if he'll work with us, which we did. And he accepted us as clients, and we kind of told him the issues we were having: employee morale, turnover, actually no profits up to this point. And he accepted us as clients, and he asked a few simple questions. Do you have a mission statement? The answer was no. Do you have a vision statement? The answer was no. Do you have a set of core values? The answer was no. He said, how about non-negotiables? Again, the answer was no. And then he introduced us to his coaching program, which is known as the TRC method, and it follows a 3P framework. And the 3P framework is people, product, process. And if you think of it like building a house, you've got your foundation, you have the walls, you have a roof, and so the foundation is your people. The walls would be your food cost, your menu, your marketing, and then the process part is strategies, profitability. So we started out in the first part of this coaching program, and the first part of the people module was mindset, as in my mindset as well as Joe's mindset. We had to change our limiting beliefs about how to lead the restaurant. And then the next thing in the people framework was culture, and learning how important it is to codify your culture. And it starts with a mission statement, a vision statement, core values, and to put all those down on what he referred to as a culture card. And again, if you're skeptical, because I was thinking, this is hokey shit. A culture card? I really was thinking, that's gonna make a big impact. Hello mindset, give this a chance. So what does a strong mission statement do? A strong mission statement communicates your company's purpose and your values. That attracts candidates with like-minded vision. A mission statement sets the tone for the restaurant's culture and expectations, and that clarity can help employees with their job satisfaction and loyalty. And then when employees feel committed to a mission statement that they also believe in, they're gonna stay with the company, thus reducing turnover costs. So a well-articulated mission statement is more than a plaque on the wall. It's also a fundamental tool for building a cohesive workforce. So we codified our mission statement in the form of little culture cards that we handed out to all of our employees at all 3 restaurants. And we did that with all employee meetings. We also created a big poster that adorned the walls in our kitchen. We had all our employees sign it. And Vanna White, are you here? Oh, Vanna, if you would, just hand out samples of our culture card so everyone can see. Yeah, appreciate it, thank you. So we codified our culture, and then we rolled it out to our team. And employees who work in a positive work culture have a higher job satisfaction. They feel valued, they feel appreciated, And not only are they not going to leave, they're going to tell their friends to come and work. Cultures that prioritize trust and transparency build a stronger bond with team members and management. Again, reducing turnover. Finally, a positive work environment that really emphasizes teamwork. Now your employees, they feel part of a team, and it's not just a job they're coming to, it's a sense of place. So having that culture is so, so important. After we had our culture card, we crafted some non-negotiables. So here's a copy of the culture card, which Joe is handing out. So our non-negotiable, those are standards. That's really, 15 or 20 things that you would come up with that you believe are line in the sand, things that you don't want the employees to go over. And they also should be trigger phases, things that you could use every day to kind of keep your employees in line. For example, we do it the right way, not the easy way. That's called strength, which goes back to our culture card. We never talk on our cell phones where a guest can see us or especially hear us. That's called respect. We always keep our work area clean and organized at all times. That's called professionalism. When it comes to something like quality, 1% better every day. Or teamwork. One of our sayings is one team, one fight. It's not front of house against back of house. It's not prep crew against night crew. We always say, hey, one team, one fight. So if there's ever any bickering among your team, it's one team, one fight. It's us against the competition. So, up until this point, what has been the cost for us? Up until this point, we certainly had the cost of hiring a coach. But besides that, it was the cost of changing our mindset, changing our limiting beliefs, and then the time and effort it took us to work with our leadership team to really codify what are our core values. And by doing that, I feel that we have ultimately changed our culture in a much positive manner, and it has become so much more profitable. So the cost of having a coach, if we could eliminate turnover, one employee in each store, it pays for the cost of coaching. And I would say that's a pretty darn good return on investment. So the next phase of the people framework is a talent attraction method. And this is, again, we learn to change our mindset for outdated tactics when it comes to attracting, hiring, training, onboarding, and retaining top talent. And this is something that you need to take with you. 80% of all restaurant problems are people problems. And all people problems are communication problems. Be slow to hire and quick to fire. And then speaking of hiring, we hire based on using behavioral-based questions. So some of those questions, for example, tell me about a time it was hard for you to be on time. How did you handle it? Does the applicant come up with excuses, or do they place high value on punctuality? Listen for detailed responses and probe further if you think that they're being somewhat superficial. It can reveal how customers or how your employees have handled a service issue in the past and how they may handle it in the future. It may tell you how they work in a team, but ultimately, the behavioral-based questions, if you probe enough, you will determine if they are a good fit for your culture or not. And how many people are familiar with ChatGPT? Everybody? What my business partner Joe was telling me, that you just simply type in what your restaurant is. Please come up with 20 behavioral-based questions for Ivar's restaurants. Within about 5 seconds, you have your behavioral-based questions for your restaurant. Okay, the next thing we had was the, job ad template. Again, this seems kind of simple, but your job ad template, it is about the potential employee. So write it in the first person. Meaning, when you write it in the first person, it helps potential candidates connect with the role on a personal level as if they're already working for your company. This makes the job listing stand out much more than in the sea of third person job listings. Writing in the first person can make it seem more appealing and relatable. Again, attracting the right people to your culture. Recruiting, having a plan. And so there's internal recruiting, there's external recruiting. And again, on the way, since Joe was talking about ChatGPT, I'll talk about internal recruiting. If your employees love working for you and they want their friends to come and work for you, come up with a bonus program, come up with a referral program. But just type it into ChatGPT. Come up with an internal recruiting plan for my restaurant. Within 5 freaking seconds, you're gonna have a plan to recruit internally. Next one is external recruiting. And again, there's many ways to recruit externally. I'll give you a couple little hacks that we did. One is with Indeed. Everyone familiar with Indeed? So instead of placing an Indeed ad, we got an Indeed subscription. When you get an Indeed subscription, you can then look at candidates within 5 miles of your restaurant, within 10 miles of your restaurant, and then you can see when they've updated their resume. They may not be looking for a job at that point, but if they've updated their resume within the last few days, send them an email. Hey, I noticed that you updated your resume. We are looking for good people to join our team. So it's you actually recruiting them versus placing the job ad and hoping that they call you. So that was with Indeed. The next thing that we recently did, we did a career video. It's kind of a career video and an awareness video, and it just shows some of our team members advance. It shows them having fun at the restaurant. It shows some of our food and our customers. And we took that video and we put it on YouTube. And then from YouTube, we hit promote. And then it goes to Google Ads. And once you're in Google Ads, now you can pick the zip code of your restaurant. You can pick the demographics, 18 to 24. And then you can pick the interests. I mean, right down to LinkedIn jobs, classified jobs, best jobs, food, chef, private chef. And it's just a really cool way then to advertise your restaurant. In the recruiting, you should also competitive pay. Competitive pay is very important for job attraction. However, once they're attracted to the job, what's more meaningful is the ability to learn, the opportunity for advancement, and to contribute to a mission statement that they care about. Also, make sure that you highlight the benefits that you have. So it would be for us, employee meals during the shift, employee meals on their day off, half off. We're closed on Sundays, nights only. And competitive benefits for our leadership team as far as medical, dental, etc. Social media and recruiting. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. Have your staff all over that. Most restaurants simply post pictures of their food, but really showcasing your culture is how other employees or how potential employees, they look, it's like, man, that is so cool. In fact, I received an email today. We had a job applicant at our Jacksonville store. They said, how did you find us? They said, we saw it on social media and thought it looked so cool. We came in to apply for a job. And then again, the awareness campaigns. Having 3 restaurants with 150 employees, we saw a need. Not many, but there's a good amount of employees who see us as their family, and they don't really have another family that they can go to in times of financial hardship. And the first one was a girl named Liz who came to us, and we had just opened in the Jacksonville market. She had been with us for maybe 6 months and found out that she had cancer. And so we helped her pay her bills while she went through all of her medical treatments. And that's really when we decided to launch this nonprofit. So we service all 3 communities that we're in. We've helped employees buy cars. We've helped them with their vehicle registration. We've paid for root canals. So this is really, it's a benefit that we showcase when we're recruiting. And coaching, I talked about the coaching. We are with Donald Burns, the restaurant coach, but our coaching program also allows all of our leadership team, all of our chefs, we're all going through it, and there's 100 courses. Right now for our chefs, they're going through something called the Food Cops Boot Camp. All of our leaders are going through the Leadership Blueprint, and it's really had an incredible impact on our team. And onboarding. Now, this is, when I say typically how it's done, so this is how it's been done in my restaurant when I was actually managing, and I'm not the greatest manager. But I would get to work and let's say it's a Friday afternoon, I'm setting up, get reservations, I get a liquor order put away, and some dude walks in, his name's John. Like, hey, what's up, John? He said, yeah, Eddie hired me yesterday, told me to come in. I said, okay, for what? He said, yeah, for washing dishes. I'm like, well, this is awesome because it's the middle of spring break and we could really use you. So I'm like, all right, we walk in the kitchen, I'm looking for a hat, a shirt, I get him a hat, get him a shirt, I take him to our chef, Brent. Hey, Brent, get this kid going, he's gonna be washing dishes tonight. He runs him around the kitchen, puts him with Georgie, they start washing dishes. Halfway through the shift, John comes up to me and says, hey, I hadn't clocked in. Am I supposed to clock in? Do I get an employee number? I'm like, write that shit down. I'll get to it later, right? And then he says, well, am I here all night and do I come in tomorrow? Like, yeah, you're here all night, but we gotta close. It's busy, yeah, that's how we have done it embarrassingly in the past. And how it should be done is the new employee is enthusiastically welcomed by the manager. The new employee has a welcome kit with a uniform and some goodies. They've already received the schedule. They already have an employee number. The trainer is aware that they're going to be there. The trainer has the training materials already. The expectations have already been set with a signed job description. So they know their job, and we know that now they know their job. Also the culture card, which we just went over. And then the daily follow-up with the manager. So this is how onboarding should be done. It is now being done, correct, Joe?
Yes.
All right. The next thing we implemented was a 70-20-10 training model. And so typically in the restaurant industry, you hire somebody and they follow, and when they're done following, then they get put on the floor and they're ready to go. The 70-20-10 model is 70% is hands-on. 20% is manager follow-up every single shift that employee is there. And then 10% is online. And we just started using Google Classroom because it's free. You can create a video, post it to Google Classroom. We also have a scheduling app called Sling. And we are able to post videos or link to YouTube on Sling, through Sling. And so we have recently launched a wine club. So that's how we explain it to them. If there's a pre-shift meeting that we stagger employees in, we could film the pre-shift meeting and post it to Sling, and the employees that are gonna come in that day are able to see it. So we're really trying to embrace the 70-20-10 model. And I believe that over the course of the next few years, that'll probably be more like a 60-20-20, only because our kids are in the TikTok revolution. So retaining employees is truly based on your culture. There's something that we have as a daily 5 sermon. We're constantly preaching our mission, our vision, our core values, our non-negotiables, and then we give words of affirmation. We celebrate 5-star reviews. We post them on the wall. Training. We don't train them till they get it right. We train them till they can't get it wrong. Something that we've done is we do wine training. My big thing is wine. Sonapa Grill, we specialize in wines from Sonoma County, Napa Valley. So we are very big on wine training, and we just created our first wine training video. We also have, as I mentioned, the kitchen-specific courses called Food Cost Boot Camp for all of our chefs, our culinary team, and our leadership team is going through the Leadership Blueprint. So, how has this all played out for us? We've been in business since 2006. Last year, our sales were 8.6 million, and I would say that we were basically break even because of all the issues we faced in the Jacksonville market. Our sales are approaching 9 million this year. We've reduced turnover in every single location, and right now we're tracking profits between 12 and 15% because we got our culture right. And it doesn't mean that it's perfect, and we're constantly working on it, but 12 to 15% is almost 3 to 4 times what the industry average is. So I would say that it has been fantastic for us, and I know this isn't anything that's revolutionary, but I will say this: leadership sets the tone for culture, and culture starts at the top and flows to the bottom. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed that.